what are some of the myths that you've heard that we want to dismantle today?
Yes, like a lot of my clients, our clients, they have a few concerns every now and then. I think the most common one is that there is a language requirement. So I can confirm that there is no language requirement. Yeah.
For confirmation of citizenship.
Of course, yeah. For the citizenship through descent. Yeah, it's the process is based on documents. Yeah, there is no other requirements rather than just proving Polish ancestry and the family link. Yeah. So that's pretty great. Yeah. Another quite common one is that that you need a lawyer to get a Polish citizenship or to go through the process. That's not true. It's administrative process. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lawyers.
Right. So you don't need a lawyer to be arguing in court. So, like some lawyers specialize in this, but really the process is through documentation, go to the Polish government and get them to confirm your citizenship through the process of administrative procedures, right? There's no arguing anyway in courts or any legal procedures as such at a basic level, yeah?
Yes, correct. Mm-hmm.
What other myths do you come across?
My clients think that there is a limit on generation. Yeah, so if it was a great grandfather that was Polish, then they don't qualify. Yeah, so there is no limit on generation.
And in fact, you can pass it on to your children and your grandchildren. So once you are a confirmed Polish citizen, because I think it may be worth adding here that when the Polish lawmakers developed the laws in 1920, when the Polish state was re-established in 1918, they determined who was Polish at the time. So the way that they determined it is you had to live on the Polish soil, and the borders were quite different than today, and you could not hold another citizenship. So if you met these two requirements, you were essentially Polish. But they also made provision for future generations because they knew that Polish people will have kids, grandkids. So the legislation in Poland has always been based on law of blood, meaning that it doesn't matter where you're born. What matters is that you have at least one Polish ancestor directly. Yeah.
Yeah, and that the Polish citizenship line hadn't been broken. Yeah, so that's important to. It's important to understand that.
Okay.
There is no limit.
Mm-hmm. Right. What other things are people confused about that we can disabuse them of right now? We can tell them that they're wrong.
That everyone in the lineage needs to go through the process. Yeah. So, for instance, if it was a grandfather that was Polish and then the next generation was a client's mother, that she also needs to go through the process. That's not true. We can skip generations, yeah. And of course, she can, still claim her Polish citizenship or have her citizenship confirmed, but she doesn't need to be involved in the process. Yeah.
Or apply for a passport for that matter.
Or apply for the passport. Yeah, exactly. So we can skip generations. Yeah.
Okay. What else have you got there in your
some of my clients mentioned that, I need to go to a Polish consulate and bring all that paperwork over there, and that's far away from my city and I don't want to go there. And that's not true. The application doesn't need to go through a consulate. Yeah. We apply directly in Poland for our clients, and the consulate doesn't need to be involved.
And in fact, people can apply themselves in Poland. The office is called
That's
the Polish office, and the only thing is that you do need to have a very high level of Polish to understand the forms and fill it all in. And some people do have time on their hands, so we tell them go for it, particularly if it's just one generation, or I don't know, if your parents can help you fill in forms. You absolutely can go directly to the Polish government or through the consulate. But the consulates, I should mention here, they do not process the application. They send it off to Poland anyway. And some of the requirements are a little bit confusing versus what the Polish government in Poland requires. So we try to cut out all that red tape, and that also reduces the timelines. Kasia, anything else on your list of myths?
That quite often my clients are concerned about the lack of the documentation from Poland, because their ancestors emigrated, 90, 100 years ago, and they just think that the documents were destroyed and they will never be able to obtain anything in Poland. Yeah, so that's not true. We've been very successful in ancestry research in Poland. The documents survived the war, they are there, and there's nothing to worry about.
Amazing. Kasia, thank you.
Thank you, Eva.
I'm just going to add last thing here is that we never give up. Pretty much every day I will get an email from someone that says something like this. When I started this process, I was a little bit unsure of if we're ever going to get there. And I'm just so amazed that I've now got a Polish passport and I can travel. And we often get the more difficult cases that other companies don't want to do, or people, often we have to salvage other companies' cases. So we are pretty tenacious, and we will work with you to firstly determine whether you're eligible or not, because maybe there's no point of you proceeding with anything. We can tell you that before you spend $1, right? And if you are eligible, then we give you a pathway to achieve your citizenship, which is, by the way, guaranteed. So really not a lot of risk around there. And we truly care about people's outcomes. We rely on our reputation a lot, and often we have to these myths that Kasia spoke about. We have to dispel them, and she is by far the best person to speak with. So I encourage anyone that ever wants to know anything about Polish citizenship to speak with her. And thank you, Kasia, so very much for your
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Eva. Thank you.